Namaste. I am Gloria Grace, the light messenger and spiritual alignment coach who works with women entrepreneurs to clear the inner blocks, keeping you stuck so you can live the life you want now. And if this is your first time joining us, whether you're watching live on social media or you're listening to this podcast, perhaps, or you're a regular subscriber, I just want to say welcome, welcome. I am so glad you're here. And I'm looking forward to our discussion today because I'm going to be talking about something that I've been doing every year for a few years now. And it's something that you may or may not do, but it's something called choosing a word of the year. And I know I'm recording this in mid February. This is something that normally people do in January, but I thought, what the heck? Why not talk about it? So, the way that I have been doing this, and there's lots of different ways that people choose words of the year, but I have been uh, going to the Unity Church, not on a regular basis, but let's say semi-regular basis for several years now. And they always do something called a white stone ceremony right around New Year's Day or thereabouts. And this is an opportunity for you to spend some time in meditation and asking for guidance on a word for the year. And this word becomes essentially the theme for your year. It helps give you something to focus on, perhaps what actions you want to take, or an intention of something that you want to help you to determine your priorities for the year, such as, say, family or personal growth, career, etc. So, um, this year I went to the Unity Church on New Year's, and we did the minister led us through this meditation, just essentially just to spend some quiet time and asking our higher self, asking source, God, the universe, however you refer to it, for a word that would be that word that would be your guiding light for the year, for lack of a better term. And I love the word that came through, and I think I finally got rid of my other ones, but this one is perfect. So I thought I would actually show it to you. And it is the word clarity. So clarity is my word of the year. And it is really something that has been lacking at times in my life. And I love having this reminder that this is what I want to focus on this year. I want to be clear in my communication. I want to be clear on the direction for my life, on the direction for my business. And being able to have this word already in just the past 6 weeks or so has made a huge difference. I really am seeing it because here's a tip that I want you to do is when you do choose a word, to put it someplace where you can see it every day. So in the past, I would actually leave this little stone, I would leave it on my desk, right, so that I could see it every day. However, I have found over the years that my desk at times gets messy, and then I'm also messy in my thinking, and I'm not focusing on the word, and I'm not seeing it. So as part of my clarity practice this year, I have this lovely stone on my dresser in my bedroom. So that every day when I wake up and I go get my clothes to put on, I see it and I see that word, and it triggers it in my mind to remember that, yes, this is my intention for the day. This is the word that I am focused on. And it is really making a difference. And just to give you a funny example, as I said, it's helping me make better decisions in my business. I'm much more organized in promoting this podcast, for one thing. But here's a crazy thing. I have 2 cats, and If you have cats, you know that they use a litter pan unless they are outdoor cats. But if you have indoor cats, they use a litter pan. And I have the type of litter that you have to scoop the poop and the pee out of every day. Well, in a moment of clarity, about 2 weeks ago, somehow I finally realized that I'd been doing it in a way that was not efficient, and I was spending a lot of time cleaning stuff up because the litter would break apart when I was trying to scoop it. Well, now I know instead I tilt the pan up so that all the loose litter falls down, and then I just have this lovely clump there so that now I can scoop it out. It's saving me time, it's saving me the smell of having to smell it when it gets all broken up, and it's keeping the litter cleaner for the cats, and I think they appreciate it, or at least I hope they do. Anyway, so clarity, see, it's amazing the words that can come up for you and how they can help you out. Now, if you have not chosen a word for the year yet, you could still do it. You can do it today if you want. There's no rule that says it has to be done in January. You can do it whenever you want. On the other hand, you might also want to do a word of the month, which I didn't realize people did that, but in doing research for this episode, I saw that, oh yeah, there are articles about word of the month. And it got me thinking that that's not a bad practice either to do, because it can give you a whole lot of flexibility in your life so you can focus on different words as you go through the year. And I was reading one woman's, she had written a blog article about how she decided to do that. And some of the reasons that she said is, for one thing, each month is different and it can offer new opportunities, perspectives. Different seasons of the year sometimes require a shift in what we're focusing on. Your emotions and how you're feeling can be a powerful driver as well. And not to mention, let's say at the beginning of the year, you chose your word, and then midway through the year, some major life event happened that you weren't expecting. Maybe the word you chose isn't going to be as effective, or maybe it's just you need a new word altogether. You need a new word to focus on because life has changed. So you might want to try that. And I would love it if you do a word of the year, or if you do a word of the month. Let me know about it. I would love to hear from you. You can reach out to me you can comment on my website. If you go to gloriarand.com, for one thing, you can absolutely let me know. You could email me at gloria@gloriarand.com, which I should have put this up, but it will be, there's a contact link that will be in the show notes. So you can absolutely reach out to me through the show notes. But I would love to hear what you do. I think that would be so cool. One other tip I wanted to share with you as well regarding this is if you are going to do a word of the month, don't choose all 12 words at once. Again, the idea here is to let your life guide you a bit and let your higher self guide you. So instead, wait until it's like a couple days before the end of the month, and then spend some time. Go in meditation, maybe go for a walk outside, someplace like a park or something, someplace where you can be quiet and thoughtful and just sit and ask your higher self, what word would be good for me to focus on next year? Or next month, I should say, or next year. But if you're doing it for the month, what word would serve me best? What is something that would help me? And ask for clarity. Maybe clarity might even turn out to be your word, but just ask for that guidance. And I I really think it's so much better than doing like New Year's resolutions and things like that. But to have this one word that is this overarching theme for the month, or maybe you want to do it for a week or a day. There's some people do that as well. I like the year, but one of these days I might try the month. It might be interesting as an experiment. Who knows? Maybe I'll do that later this year. But for now, my word is clarity, and I'm sticking with that one today and for the time being because just I remember not too long ago, the last few years, and definitely right after my sister passed, that I was in dire need of clarity. I was so confused and stuck. And it really took the process of working with coaches, for one thing, and continuing my meditation practice, and then writing my book that I talk about the love method. And check out, I've done several different episodes on this podcast. Again, if you're new, go back and find them because if you look for ones about let go and let God, to open your heart to receive, value your uniqueness, embrace your divinity, that's the love method in its short form. And being able to do that, to work through those practices, gave me clarity in what I'm doing now, which is doing this type of a podcast instead of the one that I did years and years ago, which was strictly about online marketing. And it's also given me clarity of what I want to do in my life, including one of the things that I'm doing right now is that I have started a Facebook group and it's called the Soulful Women's Network. And this is one of my new passions along with doing the podcast. And it's a wonderful way to create community, and community is so important for helping also bringing together people who you can support one another, inspire each other, and also just to be friends with because you can never have too many friends in your life and keep you accountable as well. It's a wonderful thing. So I wanted to talk as I always do. I'd love to be able to share a daily word for today. And so I thought the perfect word for today to look up on the Unity website would be the word intention, because that's what we're doing. We're setting an intention to use our word of the month or the year and to have that be our guiding North Star. And so I found one from September 7th, 2010. And the affirmation that you can take in and repeat to yourself is I live my life with intention, trusting in divine outcome. And the reading says, when I live my life from a point of intention, I consciously create my experiences. If I expect a joyful encounter, I receive a joyful encounter. If I see my day going smoothly, I create such a day. By setting my intention, I am determining what my life will look like each day. It is as if I have placed an order with the universe, trusting that what I desire will be delivered. I need not focus on the details, the where, the why, and the how, but instead trust that God knows what is my highest good. I set my intention and let go of the outcome. I infuse my intentions with love, peace, and understanding, knowing that God is my source and all is well. And then they always have a scripture reading, and this is from Psalm 37:5. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will act. And this is so true. I have absolutely seen this in my own life, is that when you do set an intention and then you let go and let God, that placing your trust in that higher power of yours, it delivers answers. You get answers to problems. You may not, it might be something that you hear right away, or maybe it will occur to you when you're doing the dishes or when you're journaling. But the answers will come. And they might not always come in the way you expect them, or it might not be the answer you expected. And my advice when that happens is to trust it anyway, as long as it's something that is a positive message. because I will tell you that sometimes we get confused and we hear something that is something that doesn't feel good, something that is I I I want a different word for negative. We say negative self-talk, but it's a word that is hurtful, perhaps. If you have that type of message, it's not coming from God. I can tell you that right now, it's not. In fact, I did an interview yesterday with a woman for an upcoming episode. You're going to want to check it out. It's about the tribal brain. And she says that so often the negative messages that come into our brain that frequently happen when we're tired or depressed or in stress, under stress, that is the tribal brain. That is, those messages were created to keep us safe thousands of years ago when we were cavemen. And they don't serve us now because we have evolved to the point that we can connect with our higher power and we can ask for guidance from our higher power, and our higher power will give it. So, if it's something positive you're hearing, you can trust that it is your higher power speaking to you, your higher self. So, commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will act. You will receive. In fact, it even says in the Bible, ask and ye shall receive. There's a lot of other stuff in the Bible that's not I wouldn't necessarily take literally, but the New Testament, some of the New Testament, especially what Jesus said, that stuff I think you can take to the bank. Okay. Let's see. What else did I want to share with you today? One other thing I wanted to share with you is that I should have turned off my notifications before I started the podcast, but it's okay. The other thing I wanted to share with you is that as I mentioned at the opening, I love helping women entrepreneurs in particular, because that's what I am. So, someone who is wanting clarity perhaps on maybe doing something different in their life. Maybe you're feeling called to make a change, to do something more fulfilling, but you're not sure what that is. I've been there, done that, and I would love to be able to help you get through that as well. So this is my impromptu commercial I'm doing today for me, for my business, cuz what the heck, I'm entitled, right? So I encourage you to reach out to me. Go to engagewithgloria.com. You will be able to schedule an appointment with me and let's talk. That's basically, it says let's chat. So let's chat. Let's see what's going on with you, and if there's some way that I can support you. I really would be honored to do that. Honored, truly honored. All right. One last thing before we go today. My other thing, someone asked me today, what are your passions? It's like, okay, the podcast is one. This is my passion. Growing the Soulful Women's Network is another passion. And then my third passion is sharing light language. This has been the other thing, along with the love method that I talk about in my book, has been a game changer for me in helping me to have more clarity, helping me to connect with the people that I've needed to help me move forward more effectively in my life and business. It's led me to making new friends, for heaven's sakes. So, I want to share with you today a message of love and light that will be for your soul's highest good, wherever you are right now, whatever is going on for you. Know that this is coming through for you. It will support you. And I will tell you as well that working one on one with me and receiving light language is even more powerful. So if you would love to talk with me about that after you hear this today, I encourage you to schedule a free consultation with me. You can go to heal.me/Gloria. And I would love to chat with you about light language, because this is, like I said, it's been a game changer for me. All right. One last point. If you are listening to this right now and you are driving a car, I do encourage you to come back to this later. I feel that it's much better to receive this where you can be just sitting down, listening, able to close your eyes and just focus on the sounds and the tones that come through. And just let that speak to your heart and speak to your soul. Okay. Kodanyona kiha sionokia tu aliato kaloliata he sogyono kikaye ha sonyo no kohu anyo no kuha sohu そこにあんのクレパタ、アコシーナのクレパティアサタ、エコニオンのどんのコーキーやたとしことこやば。いやとこやなこしゃことこやばた、えさしよのこりゃたいかりやてた。あしゃこしょのかやなかりやて、おこくやたしかりやてやた。Mariano Calone Aghiano Tushika Ekoye O Soyo Akohu Hanyo no Kuha Ekohu Ha Aoya no Kuyata Kohe Ushiya あそこしょこにやらなかやて、おしょことどやらなきやた、えさのんのくれやと、きゃくいたちやな、おこにやかれたたくしかとこりやばた、えさのこしゅうてかりやた、えさしやとたきやた、えらのくればた。えさ、えさて、あはしくふふふ、Ako yo tu si he shosho no ko o ko ya no ke a he shako shoko to ka ya pata e nato koreata ka ya ta ta to shoko to ko ya naka nano ko ya ta hano ko ya ta hano ko ya ta. Thank you for listening, for watching. If you're watching on YouTube today or on the social media platforms, I'm so glad. And whether you're catching this on the replay as well, it's been my honor to share another episode with you because, again, this is something that I love to do, and it brings joy to me, and I love when I do hear wonderful comments from people that they've received benefit from it as well. So that's going to do it for this edition of Live, Love, Engage. And as always, I encourage you to go out and live fully, love deeply, and engage authentically.